What if I told you that 3 simple foods sitting in your kitchen right now could literally reverse decades of aging in your bones and joints? Stay with me, because in the next 25 minutes, I'm going to share 7 scientifically proven foods that can transform how you feel after 60. These aren't expensive supplements or miracle cures. They're everyday foods that researchers have discovered can boost bone density, reduce inflammation, and give you the energy you had in your 40s. If you're serious about aging gracefully and maintaining your independence, you need to hear this. And make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because I share evidence-based health tips for seniors every week that you won't find anywhere else. Food number 1, sardines. Let's start with what many consider the ultimate bone-building superfood, sardines. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sardines? Really? You mean those little slippery fish crammed in a can that smell like something your uncle forgot in the fridge during the Nixon administration? But hear me out, because the science behind this tiny fish is absolutely remarkable, and your bones will love you for it. Sardines are packed with 3 critical nutrients that work together like a symphony for your bones. First, they contain more calcium per serving than a glass of milk. Yep, that's right. We're talking about 351 milligrams of calcium in just one 3.75-ounce can. That's more bone-strengthening power than chugging a glass of milk while doing yoga. But here's what makes sardines special. They also contain vitamin D and vitamin K2, creating what researchers call the bone trinity. Think of it like the golden trio of nutrients. They team up to keep your bones standing tall and strong, even if your knees sound like bubble wrap when you stand up. Dr. Kate Rome Blue, a naturopathic physician and author of Vitamin K2 and the Calcium Paradox, explains that calcium without vitamin K2 is like having a key without knowing which door it opens. Vitamin K2 acts like a traffic director, making sure that calcium goes into your bones where it belongs, and not your arteries, where it can cause trouble like a party crasher at bingo night. A 2013 study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that people with the highest vitamin K2 intake had a 65% lower risk of hip fractures. That's the kind of stat that makes you want to run out and hug a sardine, if they weren't so slippery. And let's not forget vitamin D. The vitamin D in sardines helps your body absorb that calcium effectively. According to research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, vitamin D deficiency, which affects 40% of adults over 65, can reduce calcium absorption by up to 15%. So without enough vitamin D, you're like a sponge that can't soak up water. Or like trying to watch your favorite show without your glasses. It just doesn't work. But sardines offer even more. These little guys are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These healthy fats are kind of like secret agents, working behind the scenes to keep inflammation down and bones strong. A 2018 study in the Journal of Clinical Medicine found that omega-3s can actually stimulate bone formation while reducing bone breakdown. In other words, they help build up your skeleton while keeping the bone loss gremlins at bay. The researchers discovered that people who consumed the highest amounts of omega-3s had significantly higher bone mineral density. That means your bones are not just hard, they're smart hard, like a well-built brick house instead of a wobbly garden shed. Now, if you're new to sardines, don't panic. You don't have to eat them straight from the can like a survivalist. Start by mashing them with avocado on whole grain toast. It's surprisingly tasty and looks fancy enough to impress your grandkids on FaceTime. You can also add them to salads or pasta dishes, or do it the Mediterranean way. Mix them with olive oil, lemon juice, and herbs. Throw in some chopped tomatoes, and boom! You've got yourself a heart-healthy, bone-loving lunch. Aim for 2 servings per week to get the maximum benefit. Your bones will be stronger, your joints happier, and your doctor might even crack a smile at your next checkup. So don't fear the can. Embrace the sardine. Your future self and your hips will thank you.
Food number 2, prunes. This one might surprise you. Prunes. Yes, those humble, wrinkly little dried plums that everyone jokes about as a bathroom buddy are now being hailed as nature's bone medicine by researchers at Oklahoma State University. And no, we're not just talking about helping things move along, though hey, that's a nice bonus. Their decade-long research has produced some of the most compelling evidence for any food's ability to improve bone health. That's right. Grandma's secret snack might just be the superhero your bones have been waiting for. Dr. Bahram Arjmandi, who has led multiple studies on prunes and bone health, discovered something amazing. Eating just 10 prunes a day can significantly improve bone density in postmenopausal women. And we're not talking tiny improvements. We're talking measurable, meaningful gains. In one remarkable study published in the British Journal of Nutrition, women who ate 10 prunes daily for a year saw their bone density increase, while the control group, poor gals, actually saw theirs decrease. It's like the prunes were patching up the bone walls while the others were slowly crumbling. So what's the magic inside these little chewy powerhouses? The answer lies in prunes' unique combination of nutrients. They're rich in boron, a trace mineral that acts like a backstage crew, making sure your body uses calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D more effectively. Think of boron as your bone's personal assistant, making sure the star nutrients show up to the right place on time. Prunes also contain vitamin K, potassium, and powerful antioxidants known as phenolic compounds. Now that may sound like something you'd find in a chemistry lab, but these natural compounds are bone defenders. Here's the fascinating part. Prunes work by suppressing bone resorption. That's just a fancy way of saying they help slow down the process of your bones breaking down, a big deal as we age. Because let's be honest, your body starts remodeling your skeleton like a bad home renovation show, tearing things down without putting them back. A 2016 study in the journal Nutrients found that prunes reduce inflammatory markers that contribute to bone loss. Translation, they help calm the fires that burn through your bone mass. But wait, there's more. Prunes also support your gut health, which is directly connected to bone health. Research in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry shows that your gut bacteria actually help regulate bone metabolism. The fiber in prunes feeds the good bacteria in your gut, creating a friendlier environment for absorbing all those precious bone-building nutrients. Now, don't just eat them straight from the bag, unless you're into chewy, sticky snacks that remind you of your grandpa's candy drawer. Try chopping them and adding them to oatmeal, yogurt, or even salads. Feeling fancy? Blend them into smoothies or use them as a natural sweetener in baking. Prunes can replace part of the sugar in recipes and still keep things moist and tasty. The key, as always, is consistency. Aim to eat 5 to 10 prunes daily for optimal bone benefits. That's just a handful a day, way easier than remembering where you left your reading glasses. So go ahead, make peace with the prune. Your bones and your belly will thank you.
Food number 3, Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt isn't just a trendy breakfast option you see on Instagram next to avocado toast and green juice. No, sir, it's a bone-building powerhouse that delivers nutrients in a form your body can actually use. And the best part? It tastes good, it's easy to eat, and you don't need to chew it with your back molars. What makes Greek yogurt special is its concentration of high-quality protein and bioavailable calcium. Translation, it's rich, it's dense, and your body knows exactly what to do with it. No guesswork here, just smooth, creamy nourishment straight to your bones. A single cup of Greek yogurt contains about 20 grams of protein, which is crucial for bone health. That's more protein than you'd get from 3 eggs and a whole lot easier to digest if breakfast isn't your strong suit. According to Dr. Robert Heaney, a leading calcium researcher,
protein intake directly correlates with calcium absorption. In other words, without enough protein, your body can't even use the calcium you give it. It's like giving someone bricks without mortar. You need both to build strong bones. Why is that? Because your bones aren't just made of calcium. They're built on a protein framework called collagen. Without that framework, your bones would be as fragile as your old record collection after a toddler gets to it. Now here's the kicker. The calcium in Greek yogurt is highly bioavailable, meaning your body can absorb and use it efficiently. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that the calcium absorption rate from yogurt is about 32%, significantly higher than many other sources. That means more calcium gets into your bones instead of just passing through like last week's meatloaf. And that's not all. Greek yogurt also contains probiotics, those friendly bacteria that support gut health. Now, you may be wondering, what does my gut have to do with my bones? Well, emerging research shows that gut bacteria influence bone metabolism through what scientists call the gut-bone axis. Yep, your belly bugs are talking to your bones. A 2017 study in the Journal of Cellular Physiology found that certain probiotic strains can increase bone density by improving calcium absorption and reducing inflammation. Who knew your morning yogurt was holding a bone-building secret conference? The protein in Greek yogurt is particularly important for seniors because as we age, muscle mass naturally declines, a condition called sarcopenia. Now, it's not a new dance move, it just means your muscles start shrinking, which puts your bones at greater risk. But strong muscles support and protect your bones, like good bodyguards. In fact, research published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research shows that people with higher muscle mass have significantly higher bone density. So every spoonful of Greek yogurt helps you keep both muscle and bone in good shape, a 2-for-1 special. Greek yogurt is also rich in phosphorus, a mineral that works with calcium to build strong bones. The ideal calcium to phosphorus ratio is about 2-to-1, which Greek yogurt provides naturally, no calculator needed. Choose plain, unsweetened varieties to avoid added sugars that sneak in like uninvited guests at Thanksgiving. Add your own toppings like fresh berries, chopped nuts, or a drizzle of honey if you need a touch of sweetness. You can also blend it into smoothies, use it as a substitute for sour cream, or mix it with herbs for a healthy dip. Slather it on a baked potato, or use it in a sandwich wrap. It's more versatile than a Swiss Army knife. Aim for 1 serving daily, preferably in the morning, to kickstart your protein intake and keep those bones strong all day long. Greek yogurt, creamy, powerful, and your bones' new best friend.
Food number 4, leafy greens. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and collard greens are nutritional powerhouses that offer multiple benefits for bone health. These vibrant veggies aren't just for rabbits and health nuts. They're some of the most effective foods you can eat to strengthen your bones naturally without swallowing a handful of pills. These vegetables are packed with vitamin K, calcium, magnesium, and folate, all essential for maintaining strong, healthy bones. In fact, if your bones had a grocery list, leafy greens would be right at the top. Vitamin K is perhaps the most important nutrient in leafy greens for bone health. According to the legendary Framingham Heart Study, which followed participants for decades, people with the highest vitamin K intake had a 65% lower risk of hip fractures. That's not just a coincidence, that's solid science. Vitamin K activates osteocalcin, a protein that binds calcium to bone tissue. Think of osteocalcin as the glue that sticks calcium where it belongs, in your bones, not floating around causing mischief in your arteries. 1 cup of cooked spinach provides a whopping 888 micrograms of vitamin K, which is more than 7 times the daily recommended amount. Now that's some serious leafy green power. But it's not just about quantity. The form of vitamin K in leafy greens, called K1 or phyloquinone, is easily converted by your body into the active form. So you're not just eating nutrients, you're actually absorbing and using them. That's a big deal, especially as we age and our digestive systems get a little less efficient. Kind of like old lawnmowers that need a few extra pulls to start. Leafy greens are also excellent sources of magnesium, often called the forgotten bone nutrient. About 60% of the body's magnesium is stored in bones, where it helps convert vitamin D into its active form. Without magnesium, vitamin D can't do its job, and without vitamin D, calcium gets left behind like a wallflower at prom. A study in the American Journal of Epidemiology found that people with higher magnesium intake had significantly higher bone density. So the more greens you eat, the more you feed your bones the nutrients they need to stay strong and flexible, and less likely to creak like an old porch swing. Now let's talk calcium. Despite what you've heard about oxalates in greens binding to calcium, research shows you absorb about 40% of the calcium from leafy greens compared to just 32% from dairy products. That means even if you're lactose intolerant or just don't like milk, greens have got your back and your bones. Leafy greens also provide folate, a B vitamin that's crucial for bone health. A deficiency in folate can increase homocysteine levels, which research links to an increased fracture risk. The Nurses' Health Study found that women with the highest folate intake had a 20% lower risk of hip fractures. Folate also helps build new cells, which your body needs to constantly renew bone tissue. Now, let's be real. Raw spinach and kale can be a little rough on older digestive systems. If you're over 60, chewing through raw kale might feel like trying to bite through a phone book. Cooking breaks down the tough cell walls, making the nutrients more available and easier on your gut. Try sautéing them with garlic and olive oil, adding them to soups or stews, or even blending them into a smoothie with fruit to mellow out the flavor. You can also bake them into casseroles or toss them into scrambled eggs for a breakfast boost. Aim for at least 2 servings daily and mix it up. Rotate between spinach, Swiss chard, mustard greens, and others to get a wide variety of nutrients. Leafy greens might not come with a flashy label, but they're one of nature's most reliable tools for keeping your bones strong and fracture-free. So go green. Your skeleton will thank you.
Food number 5. Almonds. Almonds are often overlooked as a bone-building food, probably because they're tiny and don't moo like a cow or come in a flashy milk carton. But don't be fooled by their size. These little powerhouses are actually one of the best sources of several key nutrients that your bones absolutely love. You know how your grandkids might ignore the quiet one in the group who ends up being the valedictorian? That's almonds. Just 1 ounce of almonds. That's about 23 of them if you're counting, gives you 75 milligrams of calcium, 76 milligrams of magnesium, and 6 grams of protein. That's a pretty solid nutritional punch for a handful of nuts. Now, the magnesium in almonds is particularly important for bone health. Why? Because magnesium helps activate vitamin D, and vitamin D is the gatekeeper that allows calcium to do its job. Without enough magnesium, your vitamin D is like a sleepy security guard. It's there, but it's not working. A study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society, yes, they study us, folks, found that people with higher magnesium intake had significantly higher bone density and, here's the best part, fewer fractures. And if you've ever had a hip fracture or know someone who has, you know that's no joke. So yes, magnesium equals good, fractures equals bad. Almonds also contain phosphorus, which works in tandem with calcium to build something called hydroxyapatite. It sounds like a dinosaur bone, but it's actually the mineral complex that gives our bones their strength and hardness. Think of it as the concrete mix in your skeleton's foundation. And guess what? The calcium to phosphorus ratio in almonds is just right for building bones without tipping the scale the wrong way. Let's talk protein. The protein in almonds is high quality and includes all the essential amino acids needed for bone formation. It's like giving your bones all the tools they need to build a sturdy house. And don't worry if you're leaning plant-based these days. Research shows that plant proteins, like the ones in almonds, can be just as good as animal proteins when you get enough of them. No moo required.
Almonds are also rich in vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant. Think of vitamin E as your bone's bodyguard, protecting them from oxidative stress, which, by the way, is just a fancy term for the wear and tear of daily life. A study in the Archives of Internal Medicine found that people with higher vitamin E intake had significantly higher bone density. And those healthy fats? Almonds are full of them, especially omega-3 fatty acids. These help reduce inflammation in the body, and chronic inflammation is like a slow-burning fire in your bones. It quietly steals bone mass over time. Keep the fire out, eat your almonds. Lastly, almonds contain boron. No, not boron from Star Trek. This is the trace mineral that helps your body use calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D more effectively. Research suggests that a boron deficiency can impair bone development and regeneration. How to use almonds? Eat them as a snack. Just keep it to about 23 almonds so you don't accidentally eat your way into your next pant size. You can also enjoy almond butter, sprinkle sliced almonds on your oatmeal or salad, or sip on some unsweetened almond milk. Bonus tip, soaking almonds overnight makes them easier to digest and gentler on older tummies.
Food number 6, salmon. Salmon is often called the king of fish, and not just because it wears a crown in your fridge. This pink beauty is swimming in nutrients that your bones absolutely love. It's one of the best dietary sources of vitamin D, high-quality protein, and omega-3 fatty acids, all of which play key roles in maintaining strong, fracture-free bones. Let's start with vitamin D. This is the gatekeeper for calcium absorption. You can take all the calcium you want, but without vitamin D, your bones won't see a dime of it. Salmon swoops in to save the day with a 3.5-ounce serving delivering anywhere from 360 to 700 IUs of vitamin D, depending on the type. Wild-caught salmon usually wins the nutritional lottery here, offering more vitamin D than its farmed cousin. And why does that matter? Because the relationship between vitamin D and bone health isn't just theory, it's science. The massive Women's Health Initiative study found that women who took vitamin D supplements had a 12% lower risk of fractures. But here's the kicker. Many experts believe that getting your vitamin D from real food, like salmon, is even better than from pills because it comes bundled with other helpful nutrients. Think of it as a nutrition combo meal your bones will thank you for. Now let's talk omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These are the good fats your doctor, and probably your daughter, keeps telling you to eat. They help reduce inflammation, which is a big deal because chronic inflammation can quietly chip away at your bones over time. A study in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research found that people with higher omega-3 intake had higher bone density and fewer fractures. And don't forget the protein. The protein in salmon is complete, meaning it contains all the essential amino acids your body needs for building and repairing bone tissue. A 3.5-ounce serving gives you a whopping 25 grams of high-quality protein. As we age, maintaining muscle and bone mass becomes a full-time job, and salmon is the coworker who always shows up on time. Salmon also contains selenium, a trace mineral with antioxidant powers. Selenium helps protect your bones from oxidative stress. That's when your body's cells start acting like cranky teenagers and don't clean up after themselves. Some studies even suggest that selenium deficiency is linked to increased fracture risk. Now here's something you may not have heard about. Calcitonin. It's a hormone found in salmon that helps regulate calcium levels in the blood and may help prevent bone loss. While the calcitonin in salmon isn't identical to the human version, some research suggests it could still be helpful for bone health. It's like finding out your neighbor's dog can do your taxes. Not exactly the same as an accountant, but surprisingly helpful. Aim for at least 2 servings of fatty fish like salmon each week. Bake it, grill it, or broil it with lemon and your favorite herbs, whatever tickles your taste buds. And don't overlook canned salmon. It's convenient, affordable, and still packed with nutrition. Toss it in salads, mash it into salmon patties, or even make a sandwich that puts tuna to shame. When you can, go with wild-caught salmon. It's got more nutrients and fewer potential contaminants than farmed. Your bones, and maybe even your doctor, will thank you.
Food number 7, sweet potatoes.
Yes, that bright orange tuber you top with marshmallows every Thanksgiving is secretly a superhero for your skeleton. Your bones may not post selfies, but believe me, they hit the like button every time you fork one of these orange beauties. Sweet potatoes might seem like an unlikely bone-building food, but they're packed with nutrients that support bone health in multiple ways. They're rich in potassium, magnesium, vitamin C, and beta-carotene, all of which contribute to strong bones. Potassium is crucial for bone health because it helps neutralize acid in the body. When your body is too acidic, it pulls calcium from bones to restore pH balance. A study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that people with higher potassium intake had significantly higher bone density. Translation: more sweet potatoes could mean fewer broken bones, less time arguing with hospital parking meters, and more afternoons showing off your shuffleboard skills. Sweet potatoes are one of the best sources of potassium, with one medium sweet potato providing about 542 milligrams. This is more than a banana, which is often touted as a high potassium food. Take that, banana! Sweet potatoes just stole your potassium crown. The magnesium in sweet potatoes helps activate vitamin D and is essential for bone formation. Magnesium is the project manager who wakes vitamin D up and shouts, "Get calcium to work." About 60% of the body's magnesium is stored in bones, where it helps form the bone matrix. Vitamin C in sweet potatoes is essential for collagen production. Collagen makes up about 90% of the organic matrix of bone, providing flexibility and strength. Flexibility plus strength is like doing yoga without leaving the dinner table. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people with higher vitamin C intake had significantly higher bone density. The beta-carotene in sweet potatoes is converted to vitamin A in the body. Vitamin A is important for bone formation and remodeling. However, it's important to note that too much vitamin A can be harmful to bones, so getting it from food sources like sweet potatoes is preferable to supplements. Sweet potatoes also contain manganese, a trace mineral that's essential for bone formation. Think of manganese as the drummer in your bone health band, steady, unnoticed, but vital. Manganese helps form the enzymes necessary for building bone tissue. The fiber in sweet potatoes supports gut health, which is increasingly recognized as important for bone health. In short, a happy gut often equals a happy skeleton. A healthy gut microbiome improves nutrient absorption and may directly influence bone metabolism. How to use sweet potatoes: bake them whole, cut them into fries and roast them, or mash them as a side dish. Your cooking options are a choose-your-own-adventure for taste buds and bones alike. You can also add them to soups and stews. Leave the skin on for maximum nutrition. The nutrients love hanging out just under the skin, so keep it on. Try them in both sweet and savory preparations to add variety to your diet. Sweet or savory, breakfast or dinner, these spuds never judge. They just build bones.
Remember, it's never too late to start taking care of your bones. If you found this information helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more evidence-based health tips for seniors. What's your favorite way to prepare these bone-building foods? Let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next video where we'll explore the 5 worst foods for bone health that you should avoid after 60.